Hi everyone, welcome to this live session today. My name is Meenal and I'm a folk artist. I'm going to conduct a Gond workshop. So let me just talk a little about myself and then let me introduce the course, what you're going to learn there, and then we will see some sample work in Gond painting that probably you will be doing and learning with us. Okay, so as I said, my name is Meenal. I'm a folk artist and I'm a Gond folk artist as well. I am Dubai based artist and I got introduced to this folk art style a couple of years ago when I was doing my course on micro arts, and I learned all Indian folk art courses there. So Gond art was one of them. And Gond art is very simple, very beautiful. You know, it really stands out because the shapes and the formations are simple. You don't need to be an artist to do this because the drawings that we create are very easy. And I would really love to see you all in the workshop that I'm conducting on 11th September for PETA on this Gond workshop. Gond folk art, this is a folk art of the region of Madhya Pradesh, right? And it was specially practiced by the Pradhan Gonds, the Gond tribe of that region. And they used to do this painting on walls, on floor. So basically there are two schools of Gond art painting. It's Digna and Bhiti Chitra. And the painting that they draw on floor, that's called Digna, right? And the painting that they draw on the walls, that's called Bhiti Chitra. Because Bhiti means wall and Chitra, as you know, of course it means paintings. So in the course that I'm going to take on 11th of September, we will do something like this, right? Peacock is the national bird of India, and we all in folk art form, Kalamkari, Madhubani, every folk art form, we create this bird. Even in Gond painting, we sort of create the animals that are local to that region. So, you know, when we are learning this Gond painting, we will learn a little bit about how to create dashes, dots, how to compose the painting, how to use very simple things like pen. Just a micron pen is enough to create a work of art like this, right? And you can just frame it up, put it on your wall. So imagine 50, 60 years ago when people would not change their houses much. When in the same house, the entire generation stayed, grandfather, and then it passed down to parents, and then it passed down to children. So people could draw on wall. So that was the time when the Gond people used geru and mixed it with Fevicol, glue, which is glue and water, and painted on wall. So that was called Bhiti Chitra. And Bhiti Chitra is usually monochromatic. We don't add a lot of colors to it. But this is only my variation. I have just made some yellow outside. This is the exact painting that we are going to learn on 11th of September, which is a Friday. And time is 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you want to register, you can check the PETA workshop link. You can DM them. You can DM me. Yellowframes.art is my handle on Instagram. So this is the exact thing that we will learn in the 2-hour session. And also I was talking about Bhiti Chitra. It is also done in red ink, right? So these are the two colors, because if you take Geru color and you add little bit of charcoal or tar, locally available folk art things, then it changes into red color. So everything about Indian folk art is simple, it's raw, and it's very expressive. So all the elements and motifs that we create in Gond folk art is connected to the root. Now let me show you a very simple painting that I've created, this one. Okay, so this is a Gond folk art painting, and this is the Mahua tree. Mahua tree is predominant in this region, and this is supposed to be tree of life for the people of Madhya Pradesh. Why? Because it gives fruits, it gives shelter, it gives us wood to burn and cook, right? So especially the artists like Rajendra Shyam, the senior artists like Rajendra Shyam and Jangar Singh Shyam, they have all shown this kind of paintings with the Mahua tree element in it. And these I have done with acrylic paints on paper. This one is done with acrylic colors on paper, and normally nowadays, the painting is not done on wall. You know, we keep changing our house every 2 years or 3 years. So we cannot paint something permanently on our wall. We need to paint it on paper and then we get it framed and take it to our own places, right? So check this out. This is the second painting that I have created. So if you know what the motif is, this is a deer. Again, deer is something which is specifically found in central India or in Madhya Pradesh. Because in Gond painting, we draw natural motifs. We draw things or animals that are available in that surrounding, right? So this is another painting that I've created, and if the kids look at this painting and they call it Bambi and Friends. If you visit my page, I have also shown this here. This is on a normal cardstock. It is a 150 GSM paper. You can use any tinted paper, and then I have mounted it on a thick craft paper, right? And I have done acrylic painting, very simple. You can learn with me. I'm going to teach you all the techniques. Gond painting is beyond dashes and dots. Quickly make your registrations with Peter. Drawing, I'll teach you. It's going to be very simple. You need to have pencil, eraser, and I use a pen, black pen, to do the outlining. So I also have these permanent markers. So if you want to attend the workshop, please come with white, any regular A4 sheet of paper. It can be a drawing book or anything, but come with a regular A4 sheet of paper. And this is the painting that I'm going to teach you. And let me show you one more beautiful variation that I've created. So this is another variation of the same painting that I have created. And you know, in Gond painting, the color was added quite later. Like initially it was done only with black color or the Geru color on walls. So the color got introduced very late. And that's why you can see that we have all these pretty colors, all the secondary and tertiary colors added to it. Right? Gond painting is very bright and very colorful. And if you see Kalamkari, the one that's there, if you see Madhubani, all that will follow basic color pattern. Red, yellow, blue. But check this Gond painting. This has secondary and tertiary colors. It has peach, pink, lime, teal or the turquoise blue, right? Here we have yellow. Then we also have pinks and purples. Check this Gond painting. Again, I've drawn mahua tree, some birds coming. These are the two birds here under this, and this is a pink tree. Okay, so check the color combinations here. Even in green, you have two options. You have olive green, you have sap green. So, because the color was introduced so late to Gond painting, that the artist started using secondary and tertiary colors also. In fact, this is a plate that I created. This is a plate from IKEA, a wooden plate I just created and painted and did a very simple deer motif. So in Gond, we normally do these kind of motifs like birds or animals. And if you are doing a storytelling session also, because you know how Gond painting originated. These folk people, they are, yes, of course, this is my variation. Traditional Gond painting will be something like this. Okay, it's mostly a white background or a very clean background with colorful picture. Okay, or maybe you can check this. This is also a traditional Gond painting. So if you can see, the background is quite white and then the painting is colorful. Okay, now this again is a very interesting painting that I created. I've done this on A3 size, quite big. This is the two elephants that I have created, and instead of eyes, I've added birds. So as I was telling you, Gond painting is really expressive, creative. It's all about composition. In Gond art, nothing is written or documented. These kind of art forms are passed down to generations, like from grandparents to parents to children. These are just passed down in the family. So you will see that one family, like the Shyam family for example, they mostly use dashes and dots to fill the elements. But the other family, they will use half C's to fill the pattern. So a lot of pattern changes depending on what family has created that folk art form. As I told you, nothing very strict is written down. The only identifying features is that they will have animals, birds, which are very local to that region. The tree is always a mahua tree. I am using acrylic colors, yes. So the tree is always mahua tree that they draw in the composition. And in filling, I will show you here. Check the way the bird is filled, right? This is not a dash and it's not even a dot. These are just vertical, slanting and horizontal lines that are used to fill. Okay. So this is another style of pattern filling that is followed. And in traditional Gond art form, they would always use natural colors like geru. So they would draw on white paper and they would paint it with charcoal, the paste made out of charcoal, ink made out of that charcoal or the coal, and geru, right? So their paintings would be either completely black and white or red on white. I've shown you the black and white painting that they had initially. But nowadays, especially when Shri Janagar Singh Sham, he's considered to be the father of Gond art. His art form was discovered and he traveled to Japan, and the Japanese government patronized him so much. In fact, Gond art is so popular in Japan. Even he named his daughter Japani Singh for that matter. But it was little long when he passed away. So he was one of the pioneers who introduced Gond art to rest of the world. To conduct the workshop, you can come and you can come prepared with any A4 sheet of paper. Check this paper. This is a paper from my drawing copy. And if you don't want to attend, then maybe you can gift this workshop to your family or friends, or maybe your sisters or mothers as a gift. Because if you know that there is an artistic person and they would like to create a folk art form, why not gift this thing, right? This is a very good gifting idea and it's becoming quite a trend now. And I have taught around over thousands of students online. Through this online medium, I have taught around thousands of students now. So the learning is going to be very interactive and it will be fun. And of course, I can promise that you will fall in love with yourself. And trust me, all these hobby workshops really help a lot. And especially Gond folk art, because the drawing part is very simple. As I told you in the workshop, I'm going to explain everything to you. I'm going to take you through the drawing session as well as through the outlining session.